Forest fans, Max Newton here on Talk Forest TV. Hit that like, comment and subscribe button. Let us know what you think. Giving you a quick preview of Nottingham Forest away at Selhurst Park against the Eagles, Crystal Palace on Monday Night Football. Results of other teams and of our own games not been going our way last couple of weeks with back-to-back defeats, and seemingly the rest of the big five all putting in good results and getting wins. The only one that went our favour this weekend was Newcastle dropping points away at Brighton, which I thought they might. I thought Villa might struggle at home to Fulham. I thought Wolves might be able to get something at City. And I was very confident that Liverpool would beat Chelsea, but Liverpool, put out a team that says, get screwed to the integrity of the Premier League competition. Really, 6 changes to the side that the last put out. Putting out a nonsense team, flip flops on, not trying to win the game. It's pretty poor stuff, really. And same goes for Manchester United, and best league in the world when teams are putting out squads like that for games where they don't give a stuff about it, but it has a big impact on the outcome of the league for other teams in the league. And I'm not just talking about us, talking about like Bournemouth and Brentford and Fulham, who are chasing European football as well. It's not on, and quite frankly, they should get fined, should get dot points. Like I think Mick McCarthy got dot points many years ago. Having said that, we'd have done the same thing if in their position, and we wouldn't have given 2 hoots about everybody else. So swings and roundabouts. But what it means is that we go into this game really needing to win. I don't think we're quite at the must-win stage yet for Champions League football, because Newcastle play Chelsea. So one, if not both of those teams, are going to drop points, but very possibly one is going to get no points. And we could get away with not beating Crystal Palace, but then we'd be looking at the last 3 games to get those points. I think we need 3 wins, and it'd be a fantastic start away at Palace, and we can beat them. They're a very good side. They've had a brilliant second half of the season, especially. Mateta's been in tip-top form. Eze has been in tip-top form. They've also got Guehi. I like Sarr in particular, and also they've got the ex-Derby player in the side. So they're a really good side, really good coach. They're usually pretty formidable at home, but they're also a bit flaky and they're a bit up and down, and they can win one week and they can get turned over the next week. The main danger is they've got bags of goals in their side, but I think Forest can get at them because they concede a lot of goals. And if I was Palace, I'd be resting my players and not wanting to get players injured ahead of the much more important thing for them, which is the FA Cup final. So hopefully Forest can benefit from that, benefit from Palace not putting out all their best players and not going all out to win the game. And we need to get back on it. We need to get back. Playing 100%. Defence let us down really against Brentford. That game should have been a 0-0. Frustrating 0-0, but 0-0 nonetheless. But defence was pretty poor for both of the goals. Aina badly at fault for the first goal, and I think Murillo and Milenkovic didn't cover themselves in glory for the Wissa goal. And we should be looking at a point, and frustrating, but looking at a point. We had a lot of possession. We did create quite a few chances, particularly in the first half, and continued to go forward, but couldn't quite make it happen. And I think we're probably seeing we don't quite have the strength and depth on the bench as other teams do. And I've seen quite a bit of criticism from people on social media that we didn't strengthen in January. But the thing is, we'd have been paying over the odds for players that we wanted in January, and we'd be getting them, paying them now with money that we're banking on getting from the Champions League. And if we don't get the Champions League, we'd have potential of screwing the club over by going over ambitious, by going all Leeds United and putting all our eggs in one basket and throwing it over the wall. And I think it was sensible in January to make inquiries, to go for some players, but not to be held over a barrel in the way that teams want us to do it. So we're going to this game. I think Callum Hudson-Odoi is likely to be injured. Back five picks itself. Obviously, Matt Sells, Nico Williams, Ola Aina, Murillo, Milenkovic. I think there's a chance we might go to a back five, however, with Morato in the back and wing backs, partly to compensate for not having Callum Hudson-Odoi in the side, so to solidify that defence a bit, but also to push those wing backs up. So I think we'll probably go for that. And then we'll have Nico Dominguez, Elliot Anderson, Morgan Gibbs-White, and probably Alanga and Chris Wood operating as a two up front. Chris Wood up the middle, and Alanga sort of floating across the front line, which I think is a formation that served us quite well. And I think it's potentially a really good formation against Crystal Palace. Like I said, Mateta's danger man, so having the extra strength of Morato along with Milenkovic and Murillo up the middle will be really good, as well as aerial ability, and having those wing backs and a central defender able to come out and help them to counteract Eze and Sarr, I think will be really vital. So I think obviously it's an important game. It's a game that we can win. I think we need 1 point to be guaranteed European football of some sort. 3 points would be fantastic, and obviously I think if we can get it down to the last game of the season and we can still get Champions League, then from this point here, I'll snatch your hand off. So I'm going for a 1-0 win, a goal from Chris Wood, and Forest fans dancing all the way back from South London. Come on, you Reds.